Hello students, today we are going to see program on class object as function argument. In previous video lecture we have seen one program which was according to pass by value method where we have used class object as function argument. Today we will see one program in which we will see both the methods, pass by reference as well as pass by value, how it is done. Okay, so let's get started. So now the program which we are going to do, we will pass object as the argument, but here now we will see reference also. So in program basic we have two object. One is obj which we will use as our parameter as actual, okay, and obj1 we will keep it as formal. So this will be used to pass the value and this obj1 will receive the value, okay. And because we have in this program we will have two data member, that is code and name. So for obj we will get code and name. So in previous program also we have seen to access this value 11, if code has 11, so to access this value we have to write obj dot code, and for accessing this value we need to write obj dot name. And because we have another object, so we also will be getting another space for code and name. For accessing this place we will be using obj1 dot code. So when we will write obj1 dot code, so it should be displaying like accessing 21, and same way to access Ruby we will write obj1 dot name. Okay, so these two things we are going to see, that when object is assigned, like in this obj is being assigned to obj1, so this means that 21 and ruby 21 and ruby will be passed to obj. Obj values will be passed to obj1. That means 11 and Neha will move to this place, that is for obj1. So if we will write this line, so further what value will get for in obj1, that will be 11 and Neha, because we have assigned obj to obj1, okay. And same way if we will use this reference sign here, so if we will use this reference sign, then what will happen, the values will go to obj1, like obj values like 11 and Neha will be passed to obj1, so it will also contain 11 and Neha. But if further again we will change the values in obj1, like if we bring new values, suppose 1 and new name Sita. So because reference, what it does, whatever change you will make in the object, that will also change in the assigned object, like referenced object. So if it will be changed to 10 and Rita, then it will also contain 10 and Rita, because it has used reference sign. But in case of value, just value, the value will not change in the obj. If it was containing 11 and Neha, and this is containing this has been assigned to obj1, so it will also contain 11 and Neha. But if further we will assign it some other value like 21 and Ruby, then the value will only remain in obj1. That value will not change in obj. So obj will further contain its value, but in this reference case, whatever changes will be done in obj1, that will automatically will be changed in obj. Okay, let's see how it will be done using the program. Object as argument. Okay, so this is the class with name action. We have two data members, class code and name, and member function input and display. In input function we are receiving the values for code and name and assigning it to code and name, and next is display, in which we have argument, which is object. So this is class object as argument. So whatever thing we will receive will go in obj1, and inside display function we are calling input function using obj1. So the value will be received by eCode and ename, and again passed to the code and name according to the input function, and then close, and this is the end of the class. So let's see in main function how this thing is going to be executed. So in main function, first of all, remember always that execution of program starts from main function. So main function, line by line we are going to see, and wherever we will get the cout or printf functions to print, that will be displayed on the output screen. So in main function, first is clear screen to clear the output screen, and then we are creating one object. Here we have created one object. For creating object, first the class name, and then whatever you will write, that will become your object. So this is obj, which is our object. So as we create object, the space is allocated in the memory as per the members available. So we have code and name, two data members in the class, so we will get space for two, one for code and one for name as we create object here. So when we, again in the next line, when we call input function using obj, and in input function we have two parameters. This is our actual parameter, so we will go to the input function. So in input function, here is our input function. First is eCode and then ename. So the first value, that is 11, that will be received in eCode, and the second value, that is Neha, that will be received in ename. And inside the input function we have assigned eCode value to code. So eCode we have received 11, that will move to code. So code has value 11, and same way ename received the value Neha, that will go in name. These two are variables, so we have not used the double quotation in it. So Neha will move to name, and we have used string copy strcpy to copy the string. Okay, now this is the end of this input function. It is closed. Now we will move to the next line. So input function is called and executed, and according to this, as per now, obj object has two values. One is for code and one is for name, that is 11 and Neha, and now we are printing it. So when we will write obj dot code, cout is written, and this is our memory. In memory, in obj dot code, currently we have value 11, so 11 will be printed, and it will move to the next line, and obj dot name. So according to current status in obj name, we have Neha, so Neha will be printed, and will move to next line. Okay, for till this line, in our output we have received 11, and in next line Neha. Okay, but after this, whatever line we have, it is calling display function, and in display function we are passing object as argument. So when we are passing obj as argument, so the two space, that is for code and name, whatever the value is there, like 11 and Neha is there in obj currently, So it will be passed to the formal parameter or argument present in the display function. So as it is called, we will go to the display function. So display function is here. So whatever the value is in obj will be received by this formal parameter, that is obj1. So this will again create new space as this object is created here. So it will again provide us space obj1 dot code and obj1 dot name, so 2 space. So in that 2 space again what value will be received? Obj value. So in obj what values are there? 11 and Neha, so that will received by obj1. So obj1 also have now 11 and Neha. But further when we go inside the body of the display function, there is obj1 dot input. That means it is calling, this object is calling input function and passing two values, two arguments, that is 21 and Ruby. So it will go to the input function, and input function will receive the first value, eCode will receive 21 and ename will receive Ruby, and same way code will obj1 code will receive 21 and name will receive Ruby. So now till now obj has object obj will contain 11 and Neha, but because we have called input function again using obj1, so it has 21 and Ruby now. Now it is closed over here, this function, and so we will go to the next line. Now as per this line, again we have written obj.code. We haven't written here obj1. Okay, so to see till now obj still has 11 and obj.name still has Neha, but in obj1 it is currently 21 and Ruby. Okay, so get ch and end of the program. According to this, what output we should get? 11 Neha, 11 Neha. Let us see. 11 Neha, 11 Neha. Until we have used, so it has gone to the next line. Now this was passing object as argument, but this is passed by value. We have passed the value. This method is called pass by value. But if we use reference, pass by reference, for that the formal parameter, if we write this ampersand sign before the object, then it becomes reference. Okay, so this is pass by reference. So what is the difference between this? So pass by value, we have seen the output, but just making this change of reference, what will take place? Let us see. What happens when object is passed? The value is passed to obj1, that is 11 and Neha. Value of obj is passed to obj1, and further in obj we received 21 and Ruby, but because we have used reference here, so whatever changes will be done in obj1 will also be done in obj. So we will get obj1 as it has values in this line gets 21 and Ruby. So here after calling the display function in this line, we will also see the difference in obj, that is 21 and Ruby. So the value will be changed in obj as well. This is the use of reference. And so according to now, because we have used reference, so in first we have 11 and Neha in obj using input, and so 11 and Neha will be printed in this cout first, but as we have called display, we have received new values in obj1. So because reference is used, so obj also will receive new values. So obj code will get 21 and obj name will get 21 Ruby. Let us see. see the change. In both 11 and Neha and 21 Ruby, we have written obj code and obj name only, but because we have used in second time reference, so because of use of reference, this will happen. Okay. And if we want to see the value in obj1 also, so we can just write one code after this line, that is cout obj1 dot code and obj1 dot name. So where this line will be printed? It will be printed first 11 and Neha will be printed, then display is called. So display new values we have received and obj1 value. So obj1 has 21 and Ruby for name, so this line will be printed after this. And again in obj also we have same value because it has changed, so 21 and Ruby. So let us see the output, how it goes. You can see now 1, 11 and Neha, that is for obj in starting when there was no change done in obj1, and in second time this is the 21 and Ruby is the value which is in obj1, and again 21 in Ruby which we have used in main function for obj code and name. So this is how reference, pass by value and pass by reference using class object as argument we have seen today. These are some output which I have received from you all, and good, this was the program to pass object as parameter, and this was the technique of pass by value, like you have used pass by value method in it. So good, and let's see what is the program for today. Okay, so following the format of pass by reference, you will make one program. You use same format as we did right now. Just you have to take two data members, that will be hobby and name. Now we have done it with code and name. Now I want you all to use the data member hobby and name and do the program and come with nice output. Okay, good. God bless you all. Bye.